Hey everybody, this is Grace. I don't know what I did to my cell phone, which is my camera, which I use for making videos. But I just messed it up somehow where it doesn't do the shutter thing. And I've done that before, but this one was a little different. And it bugs me. You know, you get used to doing something certain ways, and yeah. Anyway, I'm bugged as it is. Yeah, not that kind of bug. But yeah, I'm kind of rather. I did look up that word, didn't I? Perturbed. I used the other day. Hadn't heard that in so long. With people who, you know, there are so many ways of looking at the same situation. You know, when I was teaching at college and university, one of the big things in my field, that particular field, one of them, is to give alternative ways of looking at things. And some of the videos I've made lately, I put it on. One of them is more detailed. It was at first it was video fails, and that was 8 or 9 years ago. And if I put this on the right one, which I usually don't when I say that, it's more, you know, I don't know. The other one's more like a vlog. This one's less of a vlog, but still vlog style. But as people, I made another video about the many things that some people do that can bug a person, bother a person in their own home. Like somebody comes, visits, they come for dinner, they come for, you know, over for whatever reason, or they stay. They stay a week, 2 months, I don't know, and years even. they just have, you know, they do things that are very irritating or whatever it is, and they don't seem to think about other people. Yeah, I know lots of us have heard about. Okay, I do need to remember that whenever this happens with my phone, it's because somehow, some way, I put it on Bluetooth in my SUV, and apparently the volume's turning down really low. Oh, so many things. But anyway, I was talking about that video I made yesterday. I haven't put it up, but I think it was yesterday, before. And it's really about, like, within a few words, many things, many things that some people will do that is just irritating, and it could be this, that, or the other reason. And here's another one. That's what I want to get to. Look at these birds; they are so big. The crows and the other ones. Run! It's running. Instead of flying, it's running. This bird. Oh, that's funny. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to be distracted as usual. But it's like, I mean, imagine, I don't know, some of this, I think it is really, you know, here's another one. In this one, I'm going to say it as though it's the one, but it's not just the one. It could be this one, though. And that is when people, like, they come to your home, they're visiting for a few days, they're in town, whatever, or the few months, you know. Oh, I've seen so many of those. Or you say you have a duplex, and you see your neighbors quite often, you know, the people on the other side, and you're just kind of shocked by some of the stuff they do, and you are fairly certain, like 99.99% certain, that is not the norm of what people do. And when I was thinking about this today, I was reminded of something that happened, like, I don't even know how long ago it was. It was some guy, I don't even remember his name. I don't remember much about it. It was probably 15 years ago, 20 years ago, who knows. And it was just one time, you know, met this guy, and he basically, you know, I'd spoken to him before, but actually meet And some of the, in person it was one time, and it was so odd, some of the stuff that he said, and then, before not so odd. But he said some things that made me think, and he was not joking, as far as I could tell. He was not joking. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but it was just some weird habits that he and his family, he was talking about his family. I used to do a lot of studying family dynamics and, dysfunctional families, basically. And, wow, what he had said, like I said, I'm not trying to be all mysterious, but I'm like, in what world is that normal? I can say pretty much for certain, I have never heard of a world what he said was anywhere near the norm. In fact, I think somebody told him that as a joke, and he just carried on. But he was weird when, that I was so ready to get away. And things like, he was saying, one minute he'd say he has a twin, and then a twin brother, and they were identical, and he probably was in his 40s or early 50s, I don't know. I'd say 40s, late 40s. And then he'd say things like his brother's wife died, and then he would say things about he's trying to get into her phone and act as though it was his wife. Kind of bizarre, really. But the behaviors he talked about, wow, scary. The things that he was taught, and no, somebody joked with him, fooled him. Anyway, there was that one. There was another one that also his girlfriend died in some mysterious way. Both of them, different times, didn't know one another as far as I know. So anyway, and some of the behaviors I talked about in this other video, I put them both on the right channel. It was also the things people do, that are bizarre, kind of like that, but also some of it seems more like they just weren't ever taught manners. Really, when it comes down to it, they just weren't taught manners. And there's also the thing about not taught any morals. Or, just grown adults acting like rebellious teenagers, maybe, and making sure they're doing that thing of what was it called? It's been a long time since I've been a teenager, but what is it called when they have their own little group, and everybody else is beneath them. I've already mentioned this about how some people think that their family is the best, and wow, nobody else's family knows anything, absolutely nothing. Even if they taught it at college and university like I did, they know better. They do, and they've never even taken a class in it. Or maybe one class or two. But they know better. They know better. But there's also, like I said, some of it's like manners and other things that really kind of stand out. Like when somebody's sitting in a chair in their own home, it's their recliner. Someone who's been in a hospital, is trying to relax. When they stand up, you don't go and quickly run to their chair and sit in it and claim it's, to claim it's yours now. I've seen a fruit that didn't fall far from her mother's tree. When people say the fruit doesn't always fall far from the tree, there are two fruits. The two fruit trees. There's the mama and the daddy. You park close enough to me. You with the Christmas decorations in your car and it's September. I'm not making that up. But anyway, some things, like for example, somebody goes and it's their kitchen, and they kind of suspect you've never made popcorn before. Something simple, something. But the whole thing, it seems petty. And remember what I say about petty. Petty, yeah, there can be a lot of petty stuff. If somebody tells you, well, you need to be the bigger person, that's blaming the victim, you. No, that's wrong. Don't do it. Don't tell somebody you need to be the bigger person. Unless you're just one who likes to blame the victim. But also, people will do stuff that, okay, I'm distracted. Let's see if I can get back on track. People who are, they're going to blame the victim. It's always going to be your fault somehow, some way. These are people who, for whatever reason, want to, they'll say, oh, that's so petty. Well, yeah, but the reason, the intention, the purpose, the whatever that person is doing that petty thing, and you're supposed to be the bigger person for it. No, you don't. No, you don't have to be the bigger person. That person should be pointed out and it's exposed for what they are doing. They are at fault. But some people, man, when they want to side with that person, it can get bad. It can get very ugly. So I don't give anybody any form of advice. Never, ever. But anyway, those people, they are petty. I've seen this more in people, I said histrionics earlier. I had to clip out some of it. I don't know if that was in it, but, histrionic behavior. They have to be the center of attention. They don't matter to them. It doesn't often, one size doesn't fit all. But it doesn't matter. Negative attention, positive attention, as long as they have attention on them. And any negative attention, they just say they're just haters. They're just haters. No, you're stupid. You're just being whatever. And your behaviors are quite histrionic, That's not a good thing, by the way. Some people, oh, man, look at me. I am so theatrical. Yes, I know. I know how to manipulate people into believing I'm the victim. Oh, my hands on my head. My forehead, these people like this. Oh, look how wonderful I am. I'm really gifted. I'm very creative. Oh my gosh. I have been around them my whole life. But anyway, some people like this, to get back to this, the thing that really sticks out is maybe they were never taught any manners, like I just said a few minutes ago. Never taught any manners. And they instead were, it was, I don't know. You're backing up too close. But some of it was that they were, how to put it, really? Like the narcissistic behavior was encouraged by others because, and when you really can sometimes think of it, to be narcissistic, like say a parent doesn't really so much might not have to do much for that person because they're going to take themselves and whatever they want. They just take it. And the parent doesn't have to parent as much. I know that sounds bonkers, but really think it through. If say a parent just does something like lays out a bunch of fruit or whatever and walks off, well, they're going to go running for it and they're going to take as much as possible for themselves. And how much does the parent have to do? That's just a dumb example. You get what I'm saying? But as far as manners, don't go running for it and take as much as you can put in your hands, as much as you can hold, or go back and get everything. Like the person who you have a party at work, some kind of pizza party at work, and the person who grabs as much as they can, from it and not think about how many other people are there. You know what I'm saying, right? Okay, I'm a little distracted here because of the person who had to park right next to me. I am one of those who, not only parked next to me, but they were on the driver's side, my side, the left side here in Texas. And they parked as close as they could get to that line. So they could get as close as they could to me. You know, like if I wanted to get out, wasn't gonna happen. Yeah. Okay, where was I? But I had this yesterday or the day before. Oh, with everything going on, and I really can't even get into my kitchen, and I really don't want anybody to bump into me, and my dog did the other day. Bumped into me in my abdominal area, kicked me, being playful, and I started having that problem again. I'm wearing bandage on the navel and all that again. In case you didn't know, I was admitted to the hospital for 2 days, one night, and because of the same situation I had last year, back in, this is September of 2024, that was started in April and May of 2023. I've had it ever since, but it hasn't been a problem. Anyway, the thing, I have a small hernia. That's the best one so far. Okay, where was I? So much stuff's going on here, but oh man. But let me get to this part here. I know there's so much going on that I keep not finishing each one. But you go to somebody's house and you're a visitor, and like I was talking about, knowing the person knows you never made popcorn before. Some people in this world don't make popcorn, so they decide to try. You're right there at the popcorn, so you make everybody some popcorn. First, then days later, they're gonna make some. They're gonna try it out, and one of them, one's teaching the other. Okay, not you, but somebody, and they make it for themselves. They cook enough for the two of them. You made it for all of them. But then you're standing right there. You go to the restroom, come back, and look in the pot, and it's all gone. All of it. They did not leave you any. Then that's so petty. It is so petty. But you know what? You're not the one being petty, noticing it. It's the person who's doing it. Okay. And if you say something, nope. See, you see there, that's you. No, it's not. Okay. But the people that are doing it, or the person, may be doing it just to cause a problem. And then that's like an hour or a day after, whatever it is, of them, they're going to go make some macaroni and cheese. They make a little, enough for just them. And let you know that it's just for them. Okay, if you've watched my other video, I think I'm going to have enough in it to make all this make sense. But like I'm saying, it's a lot of people, not just this family and that those the people that I met years ago. It's a lot more that I have seen. Some people, now this part, that just seem like they don't have any manners. They're like, really, like I said, bad teenagers. The rebellious teenagers, the teenagers that have a clique. That's the word, clique. And you don't belong to their clique. And they're going to make sure they point it out in a very dramatic way. When I even tried, it just sounds dramatic. I know it sounds awful, doesn't it? Because I have never been very histrionic. I really, when I observe these people, I'm there, and I see that their plays, the way that they're so dramatic with everything, everything. You keep on saying, I'm gonna feed this bird over here. Okay, I saw the one crow, fed him, and of course, next thing I know, there's a gazillion of them. But I had a hamburger, and I don't eat both sides of the bun, so I gave him one side. So many that kept coming, and then I looked up there at one point, and it was like the birds were migrating. Yeah, serious. A whole bunch, unbelievable amount. So anyway, this is about what these days calms me, is feeding the crows. Seriously, This has been going on for how many months now? Yeah, but this, well, feeding the crows has, but this with just the bizarre behavior on one side has been a few years now. More than that. I don't know how far you want to go back, really. But the people that they were just never taught manners, because they were taught this, what's that term? They basically were taught, you're, like my dad, he had tried to say something to me that, and I thought it was so bad. It was, fight your own battles, win your own wars. And I'm like, you're my dad, Yeah, parents should be there for their child. Teach them. Don't just tell them, you're on your own. You got to do it all yourself. Or just not tell them anything. Just let them go, everybody goes running. And that's the kind of, I'm going to steal your chair. I'm going to steal this. I'm going to get there first. I'm going, what is that when you're all adults? It's wrong when they're a child. To let a child think that they, somebody gets out of their chair, run to it. I don't know. These are so petty stuff, such petty stuff. It's just unbelievable. Like I said, I've seen so many from so many different people, but not like this. Not like, I don't know, like it's taught to them, or it's nothing is taught. I think really is when it comes down to nothing was ever taught. You don't do this. This is inappropriate. This is not good manners. And I mentioned before that I was raised with polite society, kind of seriously, kind of thing. I've let go of quite a bit of that. It's like, when I studied in university, we were taught things like, just in a class that was about differences of the sexes, because the genders. I was going to be a counselor for women in certain, after divorce and this kind of stuff. So I took a lot of classes. But, this of calling some women ladies, which still happens, these days. But that was actually wrong to do, because that's not complimenting the person. That is telling the person how you must live your life. The woman, not the person, the woman, how she must live her life. She has to be a lady. And, that's limiting people, the women, that's limiting. This society is telling her what she must be. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you really think about it. How many people call men, you have to be a gentleman. But how many really try to enforce that? But a lady, if you're any other way, you should be the bigger person. These kind of things that happen. But anyway, I got out of the house just a little while ago because they were making popcorn. And then asked me what is supposed to be set on. So I said what it should be set on. And both of them informed me that I'm wrong. Yeah. And I said 50 years. And I said, and they said, well, we looked on the package. And I said, I repeated what I said, just one word. And decided, I said a few choice words under my breath, but not my circus, not my monkeys. And then they started ignoring me, before I got out of the house and playing in like a childish game. The whole thing of, you're wrong. It's gone. I was thinking this, if I really, were a rather cold person, I would use all this stuff that I have seen in so many different people, to so many different families. Really, it's not just the two. But, some of it I've heard about what families have taught. If I were rather cold, I would use it for research without them knowing. For real research. You know, I'm trained in research. Qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative and quantitative. And just the stuff I see is just unbelievable sometimes. You know, am I just... This isn't really a question. But, somehow, some way, I just run across these bizarre people. Oh, yeah, we can go all into what, you know, what you're raised in and blah, 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 and you're going to see the same and yeah, I can do that. I can do it, too. For the rest of my life, talk about that kind of thing, which I have for 10 years almost. Well, that's on video. I don't know how many years before, just in writing. I'd say, wow, since the 1990s. Oh my, since 1990, actually. So, anyway. Okay, but I'm doing my safety belt again. I'm gonna, sometimes I just, I don't know. Really, you know, like I say, I go off and count to 12 gazillion. Wasn't that what people used to say, go, you know, to count to 12? I don't know why they said 12. Maybe some people said 10. But I say gazillion. Because sometimes I'm just, it's not really like I'm angry, like I've said before in videos. I'm not really angry. It's just, you know, just the audacity of some people. The nerve, that whole thing, the whole thing of, these are adults who act like this is a clique. And it's going to be more adults that are going to be here really soon, and a child. I don't talk about children, so that's as much as I would say. But to be surrounded by adults who maybe they were, I've had this before in my life, like I said, where it's really, they weren't taught manners. They weren't taught to be considerate of other people. That, you know, it's all for them. Everything. Oh, let's take, you know, let's, like doing some kind of cash grab. One of those machines or something. Whatever it is. And they're grabbing for the cash. And that's how they are in their lives. And the pizza people who grab all the pieces of pizza before anybody else gets theirs. And, you know, you have to wonder who raised these people. And we really should, if they're adults, it really shouldn't be, you know, this is just common what, you know, some people say, me too. You know, who raised them? But really, at that point, is it about being raised? I'd say, I'd ride the fence on that. Because sometimes you can be raised a certain way and you never stop to think, what does this really mean? What am I really doing here? Now, if somebody keeps, you know, people keep pointing it out to you, you're wrong. Maybe it's time to think. Really, time to think. What am I doing? My parents were wrong. Ooh, man, wrong. They're saying anybody in their family is wrong. Was wrong. Is wrong. No. Yeah. Okay. I just made a big mistake. Oh, am I backed up out of there and went to go forward. And I ran over that little section. I don't know why this little section's there. It's my fault. I didn't put this section there. But anyway, I don't even know what it is. But it was unexpected to be there. And it's I don't even know what you call it. Really, I don't know what to call it. But my SUV, I don't know if it's going to mess with it. Oh, battery warning. I'm not doing anything. But bam, I hit it. It's just a raised piece of, not kind of like a median, but just about the size of half of my SUV, just sitting there. There's no reason for it to be there. Really, none. And I just hit it and backed back up. It's kind of scratched underneath. I hope it didn't mess anything up. So I moved over and backed up, come over here, looked under it, but I was parked too close to, this is just open here. And I'm on the concrete, and I'm going to let it see if it leaks anything. Yeah, before I go home. But that was weird. I mean, it really was. It's not, I can't call it something that's dividing or anything. But like I said, it is my fault because I should have thought there's something there. And for some reason, what I'm worried about is there's a very, very strong smell of perfume. I don't wear perfume because of my chemical allergies, but there is such a strong, unbelievable smell, and I'm hoping that's not something, you know, coming from my SUV. But it's perfume. What would be perfume? Really? So, eventually. Okay, I sat there for just a few more minutes and backed up and checked. I don't know, I guess I would have just given the front part of, a little bit of the front part of my SUV a shine underneath. Need shine. People used to say that when I was young. That's something I have never done. But it was, I mean, it's my fault. I'm not one of those that says it's somebody else's. But I don't know what the world is there for. It's just just some grass with curb around it, and there's no reason for it. I don't get it. Don't get who planned that, but it's my fault. Like I said, still, I'm curious. Yeah. But anyway, what a day. What a life lately. What a whole life. Not just lately, but seeing this kind of people. Like I was saying something about, you know, being cold. If I were cold, I'd say that I'm going to do some research. Well, not do some, but I've already had enough. But no, that's bad. Were you in a wreck or something? But we hit something. But you know, just use these people. Like they're such users as it is, and what's going on right now, I'm very disturbed about it because I've seen stuff like this before, and it wreaks havoc, and I don't know that my brain can handle any more of just people being like that and causing so much problem and just being con artists and okay. Total con artist. Alright, I need to get over there. Enough is enough. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Oh, my car's going a little bit too weird. Uh-oh. There's always been, since I bought this, I bought it new. And I hardly ever used it until last year. You know, I bought it in 2019 and this is 2024. And I didn't use it until last year, hardly ever. And I had noticed that sometimes when I turn, it would make just a certain way I would turn. Not anything wrong with it, just turn it and I'd hear a crunch. And there was a woman that worked at a store, and I don't even remember, she helped me out with my groceries when I had gotten out of the hospital last year. I was only in the ER, but was having all those problems, and she helped me out, you know. And I was telling her, for some reason it came up, I think she said she has one too of these, and I told her this model, now what was mine, she said mine did the same thing, and that her dad was something like a car salesman or worked in, I don't know, but he knew what it was, and she was going to ask, but I never saw her there again. But yeah, it made that kind of crunching noise, and why was I talking about that in the first place? I've got a headache again. This is 4 or 5 days straight, and it's just too stressful in my life lately. Especially like I was talking about this with, I've seen this movie before, and just different people, and how people. Yeah, I'm just really worried. Altogether, really worried That, some people are out just to, they don't care who they mess with. They don't hear. That was also what I was thinking earlier today. It's their own family. They're going to try to find some way to get money. To get some money, a lot of money. Well, not a lot, but it depends on where you are, how you see. I don't even know how you see it. How much could they possibly try to get? I'm suspicious because it's happened to me, and I didn't have it wasn't, well, like I said, it depends on, this wasn't a lot of money. I wouldn't consider it a lot of money these days, but somebody stealing in your own family, right at $1,000. These days I don't see that as a lot of money, but it is to a lot of people. I think that's a good chunk of change. Depends on, their own situation. But I'm thinking some people, they have the wrong ideas of how much somebody else has in their bank. And they're going to try for every penny when it is not theirs. They just don't care, though. Like I said, even family, I've had this come up. I had that situation years ago. I've had it recently, and they're trying to get blood from a turnip. The expression, can't get blood from a turnip. You can't get blood from a turnip. I think that's it. But I am not an independently wealthy person. To me, I'm not money motivated. To me, money is help. I thought there was a kid in. I don't see it. I was going to go clip it, but I didn't see it, so I don't know. But there was somebody backing up back there, and they backed up and they just sat there. This is the road. It's going to be on this road when there's going to be something go weird every time. Especially people parking. The way they're parking, where they're parking, how they are. Or they left something there, like that one time. Or they park too close together. And this is the road. This is not a parking lot. There's no signs that say you can't park here, so people park here. When they all have places in their own yard, their own front yard or backyard to park, but they're going to park on the road and make it real tight, and no emergency vehicle could get through here. It happens too much. It's not everybody. It's not every time, but no emergency vehicle could get through. So anyway, my alarm went off. I'll go take my medicines. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.